Hey everybody, this is Liam Martin from Running Remote, and in today's video we're going to be talking about my 8 thoughts on the future of digital nomadism and location independence. Is digital nomadism actually legit? Well, you know what? It's been an interesting year, to be completely honest with you. I actually had a viral video that went viral around the same time as this year, or as this previous month a year ago, and it was entitled Digital Nomadism is Canceled. And I stand by that. Digital nomadism was canceled for 2020, but for 2021, I think we're starting to see the cracks form, and I think we're going to see a change to the digital nomadism ecosystem that honestly makes all other changes before it infinitesimal in comparison to what we're going to see in 2021 and 2022. So that's what I'm here to talk about, my thoughts on how that is going to completely change everything that you know about digital nomadism. So generally, I believe we're going to see digital nomadism completely explode for a few huge reasons. But before we get into that, did you know that 89% of people who watch these videos are not subscribed to this YouTube channel? Do you also know that Igor goes Russian mode on me every time I do not completely and utterly tell you to demolish the like button and subscribe to this YouTube channel, and then also click the bell button, not the bell bunny. For my own personal safety, please subscribe so he doesn't hurt me anymore. Now, reason number 1. Working from home has given billions a taste for remote work, and post-pandemic, we're going to see a lot of that talent go nomadic. I'm personally pretty darn excited about this myself, but I think working from home is the gateway drug towards digital nomadism actually taking root. Number 2, so many tech companies are allowing not just remote work, but work from anywhere policies. This is not just going to allow for more digital nomads, but what I actually want to start calling dumb rich nomads. Basically 6-figure digital nomads that are going to be able to have buying power that regular nomads could only dream of. I personally am probably in that dumb rich nomad category, and for me, at least interacting with the nomadic community, it's been really interesting to see how my access is just completely different from the average digital nomad's access, who's probably like the average salary is around $15,000 to $20,000 per year, particularly in developing countries. So that will be a very interesting trend to see change this year and next. Number 3, platforms like Insured Nomads and Safety Wing are providing insurance for nomads. Nomad visas are popping up everywhere. We have employment of record systems like Globalization Partners and Remote Team, and others are coming together to allow for easy and more legal versions of nomadic travel, which is completely awesome. Number 4, we have never had such an amazing access to the internet as we do right now. I made a video about Papa Elon's new satellite internet service. Within a few years, I think you'll be able to connect from anywhere on planet Earth for literally 4K Zoom calls. This will allow for a movement of nomadic labor and opening up of markets that I honestly think we've never seen before. So that to me is incredibly exciting. All of these technological and legal systems all coming together to create the perfect storm where digital nomadism is going to go from honestly thousands of people to millions, and maybe even tens of millions very soon in the future. Now, there's a lot of stuff that actually is gonna stop this movement from happening, and I wanna get into those as well. So in my opinion, what's stopping digital nomadism from achieving mainstream status, as I like to call it? First off, is digital nomadism is still a very young person type of game. There are very, very few 50-year-old nomads, and you need a proper education system in place for digital nomadism to truly take root. So there are some education systems that are doing this right now, but we need a very clear curriculum that you can pick up in Bali one semester and run in Nigeria the next semester. Until we fix that, the majority of digital nomads quit the game once they decide to have children. So education is critically important to actually moving this to the next kind of version and getting people that are effectively over 30 into digital nomadism. Next up, we need digital nomads to get jobs. And yes, you heard that right. I recently did a non-scientific poll and found out that having a job versus starting a business tripled people's chances of being a digital nomad for longer than a year. This is really important for many people to consider before jumping out on the road. The other issue is digital nomads don't make good employees, and they're generally young without much experience, and they lack the ability to actually stay focused. Again, this is my critique. Please, I love you guys, but this is the true reality, is that a lot of digital nomads are honestly pretty darn flaky. Most of the large remote work employers I've spoken to say digital nomads are generally really not that successful in their companies, and that's a big problem that we really need to fix. Next up, we need to make digital nomadism legal. Right now, I'm sorry to say for everyone who may be on right now, the chance that you are not tax compliant is pretty darn high. You're either on a traveler visa in a country, or you're not tax compliant, or you've got a payroll issue. It's really not your fault, but as digital nomadism becomes bigger, and it is going to get a lot bigger, countries will crack down on this stuff hardcore, and you do not want to be in the middle of it. If you're interested in me doing a full breakdown on tax compliance for location independent workers, let me know. But I'd suggest you check out Globalization Partners, Remote Team, or remote.com to just get you started, or check out one of my videos on nomad visas, which are opening up everywhere. Also, systems need to adapt to being location independent. If you can afford to keep $100,000 in an HSBC Premier account, then you can get the type of services you need to bank effectively, but that doesn't even come close to solving the business, banking, and logistics issues, which is a complete nightmare. I'll give you a perfect example. My business partner, Rob, lives in Sydney, Australia. I live in Montreal, Canada, the majority of the year. 6 months I do travel, except when it's COVID. And we had a problem about 3 years ago where the bank that we bank with, Chase Bank, had a incursion issue, and they had to lock out a bunch of bank accounts, particularly high-end business accounts that are doing 7 figures a month, as an example, in revenue. And we ended up talking to the bank and saying, hey, can you please reissue our account? We need to do payroll next week. And they said, no, we can't reissue your account. You have to come in person to be able to actually free up the account. Well, our local branch was in San Francisco in the United States, not anywhere close to Sydney or Montreal. And because Rob was the top level account on the bank account, he had to, in one day, get onto a plane from Sydney, fly all the way to San Francisco, walk into the bank, and literally show them his passport. This is a stupid system, and anyone that wants to actually build a business when location independent, they cannot run this type of banking system for reasons that I just communicated to you right now. So it's such a big issue that you need to kind of address, and I don't currently see anyone on the market doing it effectively. The last point that I want to touch on is most people still can't be digital nomads because of passport restrictions. If you own a Canadian passport or a US passport or a European passport, you can travel pretty much anywhere. But if you have a passport from the Philippines or from the majority of countries in Africa or anywhere else in the developing world, it is very, very difficult for you to be able to travel the way that I travel, as an example, where the vast majority of cases I just show up, I get a visa on arrival, cha-chunk, and boom, I can be in that country for 3, 6, and sometimes even 9 months without any problems whatsoever. This is a big issue, and I don't necessarily see anyone solving it right now, which unfortunately just means that the vast majority of the population can't even get access to the advantages that First Nation digital nomads have historically taken for granted. So those are my overall thoughts. Hopefully that was helpful to you in understanding where digital nomadism is going. If you've gotten this far in the video, honestly, I'm not even gonna ask you to subscribe, even though that will probably get myself in trouble with Igor. I'm just gonna wish you a happy life. And if you're really happy with this video, you may wanna check out a few others. My other videos on here are pretty good. Yeah, I'll see you later.